today's experiment is going to be a lot of fun, but a parent needs to help you with this one because it involves boiling water. So your parent or whoever is older than you that's in charge needs to help you with this one because I don't want anybody getting burned. So this is a parent helper one. Okay, so what you're going to need is a glass baking dish like this, or if you have a glass bowl, that would work. You just need to be able to see through it. And I put a white towel down underneath because if you have a dark counter or you're doing this on a dark surface, you aren't going to be able to see the experiment happen quite as well. So if you don't have a light colored countertop or wherever you're doing this, I want you to put a white towel or white paper towels down, and it'll help the experiment go a lot better. You'll be able to see things. We also need some of our sea animals. Okay, you can put a couple in because that just makes it more fun. You're going to need cold water, boiling water, food coloring, this little dropper, and some ice. Okay, it's really important that your water that is supposed to be cold is really cold, and your water that's supposed to be hot is really hot. Okay, this is what your food coloring is going to come in, this little container. Okay, you don't need a ton of drops. Okay, so don't make this super blue because it's going to kind of mess it up. So the first thing you're going to do is pour water in about halfway up the sides. Okay, this is your cold water, so try to get it out of the tap as cold as you can. And then I'm going to add ice cubes. And I chose these ice cubes because we figured out that it works better if you have larger ice cubes. So we want to add as much ice to it as we can to get that water really, really cold. Okay. So while that water is cooling down, we are going to take our blue food coloring and open our red food coloring. And moms and dads, this is probably something you're going to want to do, not them, because as you can see already, I'm colored. And you're going to take your little, this is called a pipette, but it's just a dropper. And you're going to take a couple drops of blue food coloring. You might want to have mom and dad do this. And you're going to mix it up and make the ocean blue. Okay? So just mix it around a little bit. And you want it a pretty light blue. You don't want it too dark, because if it's too dark, you won't see the color changes. All right, and then you're going to take your red food coloring and that boiling water that mom or dad did for you, you're going to color it red. And I'm going to make it pretty dark red because I want it to show up really well in our experiment. So you can stir it around. Now, kids, I don't want you holding the boiling water. This is something your grown-ups need to do for you, okay? All right, now I need to have some fun stuff in here. I'm gonna put my porpoise and my whale, and how about a stingray or two? And I'm not sure, I think this is supposed to be a dolphin. Okay, you wanna make sure that you still have some ice cubes in here. So I'm gonna kind of arrange my ice cubes here, and you gotta feel the water, it's really cold now. So that means it's ready. All right, so what you're going to be doing is your grown-up is gonna take the red hot water and slowly pour it into the ice cold blue water. So you see this red, and we're gonna slowly and very gently pour it into the blue. And I'm gonna kind of watch it. I'm not gonna pour it all in at once. And what you're gonna see is you're gonna see the red start to move around. Especially watch where the ice cubes are. And it's slowly creeping around. And now I'm going to put some over here in this corner. And you're going to see it slowly traveling. And so what you're looking for is, you can see it starts to swirl around as the hot water and the cold water meet. And if you're lucky, you'll start to see some red swirlies in there. And the red swirlies are called eddies. And this is where the currents forming, going around. Now you also will probably notice that where it's really cold water, it's kind of staying blue. I have an area right here where the ice is kind of making a barrier, and the two red and blue are not mixing together. Okay? I'm going to try a little bit more. And we're going to keep watching what's happening here in the pan. And what I'm noticing is around the ice cubes, it's starting to swirl. And that's an eddy. Okay, what's happening in your experiment? You know what? The first couple times I did this, I didn't see very much. And I thought we didn't do it right. So we tried a couple different ways, and it turned out better the second and the third time. We saw more. What I learned was it's really important that the water is cold in here and that it's very hot in here. And that there are some ice cubes in here because that helps you see the eddies forming. Now, I didn't have the whales the last time in mind. If you can't see what's happening because your whale's in the way, you can take them out. You don't have to have them in there. And so what I'm looking at right here is I have a swirl developing, but I have no red right here. I only have blue. And I have no red right here. I only have blue. But the red is going around like this. Okay, campers, I'm going to be really honest. I had to do this 3 times to get it to look the way I want. So if you're frustrated and you can't get it to look the way that you think it should, try it again. Sometimes the hot water's too hot and it melts all the ice too fast, and then you don't get to see the swirls. Okay? This is easy to do over and over again. You're going to have enough food coloring that you can try it a couple times, so you can just dump it out and start all over again. Now what you observed, I hope, was, especially in mine, you saw a swirl going, and you even saw the ice cube twirling around. We created an eddy, and what we're observing is the hot water and the cold water mixing. It's a convection current, okay? And this is an example of deep currents that you would see down below the surface of the water, okay? You can also see surface currents if you want by just blowing, because surface currents are caused by the wind blowing across the top of the water. So if you want to see what happens now, you can just blow. You might notice that some of the red swirls move. So make another surface current. You can blow in a different section, and you'll see that the red's moving around now. So you can keep trying that just to see what happens. But what did you notice happened when you poured the red water into the ice cold blue water? Okay, I want you to think back, and what did you see happen? The first time I did it, I didn't see much. The second time I did it, I really didn't see much. Third time I did it, we saw a lot of interesting eddies forming. So why do you think that when you have ice cold water and red hot water and you put them together, that it doesn't just instantly turn purple, because blue and red make purple. I wonder why. So I want you guys to think about it. I want you to tell whoever's helping you today why you think that happened, that it doesn't just turn purple instantly. Okay? And did you notice that the ice cubes, the red kind of looked different around the ice cubes, that the ice cubes affected how the red color spread into the blue? Okay? Now, when you blew with your breath and made a surface current, what happened? Okay? And don't worry if it didn't happen the way you thought it should. It's okay. Science is all about trial and error. If it didn't turn out the way you think it should, start all over again. Okay? It's not a failure, it's just a trial. Okay? And you can do it with different ways. You can have a little bit of ice, you can have a lot of ice. You can change the variables. Okay? So don't worry about it working out perfectly the first time.